Alright, so let's get down to looking at the high grade 1:144 RGM-79 GM or GM. It's actually a really small box. This is an old high grade kit, but you can see in comparison this is the brand new Crossbone X1. Actually, it's just a little bit smaller. I just moved them. Oh, there you go. So it is a bit of a smaller box, a bit of a simpler build. There aren't that many runners in here. I'll go ahead and show you real quick, but let's look at the side of the box first. So, is it going to focus, or is it going to stay that way? It's going to stay that way. So, you got just a front and back shot of the gym here and some Japanese gobbledygook that I can't read. Just the name of the suit itself once more. And high grade universal, this is number 20. Shows you how old this kit is. This is number 20 universal century. This is number 187. That's a pretty old high grade kit. So there's some more stuff here. Says we'll show you a close up of that probably right about now. Zoom in, I'll show you a bit of a close up or something. And moving on over here, you got some the gun and the close-up of the head and the back and the shield and the sword, and just showing off some cool action shots that you can do. And this is a barcode from wherever I bought this from. I got it in the mail, but from wherever they got it from. So yeah. So let's take a look inside and see what we have. Whoa. Nothing there, just the lid. So runners, this bag contains one runner. This is the, what plate is this? A. So you got some red, yellow, and gray, and then this is kind of a like translucent green, turquoise color. And then in this bag we've got the white, the B plate. That's what it is. The B plate and the polycaps, and that's all there is for this guy. There's nothing else. So yeah, that's a pretty simple build. And then you have the manual, and this is also a kind of smaller manual. If you can't tell just by me holding it, it's actually very small. But you know, you open it up inside, and you've got some, you know, some more stats, a better shot of the old high grade kits. Actually had pictures of the kits on the front of them behind the box art. This is the box art, some line art. It's just some really better shots of the action shots. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and open these bags up and we'll get to building. So we've got all of our parts laid out right here. Let's go ahead and get to building. So we're back here. We've finished building our high grade RGM-79 GM, and you know, it looks pretty good. It's a really simple build, but it looks good and really show accurate. So I've got it in a cool little pose here. That's a kind of iconic Gundam hiding behind the shield with the rifle out pose. something I'd like to point out that's really nice is this is an older kit, but then again, it's got a really easy color scheme, but it only has one sticker, just a black, solid black sticker, and it goes right there on the torso. So really simple and looks really good. Yeah, it's kind of awesome that it's just got that one little sticker there. But let me pop the shield and the gun off, and we'll get into his articulation. So it just pops on my ball joint and pop back in. Alright, so getting into articulation, starting from the head up. The head is on a ball joint, but it's kind of sunken in, so it can only get about that much forward and back and side to side, and it can turn about that much. So not too great, but it's okay. It's, you know, arms can spin 360 degrees, go out about that much. You can bend back a little bit, but they can bend that much, just 90 degrees. And then the wrists are on a ball joint, and so they'll spin 360 degrees, and you know. And the neat little gimmick of the figure is that it can do this. It can kind of wobble like that. You just kind of push it up a little bit, and then you can sort of wobble. And there's a gray part in there to kind of give a little bit of a peek to the inner framework. But that's it for the upper body. Now moving down here to the legs, they kick out about that much. The front skirt's on a little bit of a polycap that sort of pivots in and out, but you can only get it that much out in the front, that much out in the sides. Although these skirts are set up just like the front skirt, they can come out that much, but you're never going to need that much clearance. The legs can bend 90 degrees, almost 90 degrees, just a little bit less. So close. The feet, they're on ball joints as well, so you can get front and back ankle movement, just a little bit side to side. These little guards here are on just kind of swivels. But other than that, that's all of your articulation for this high grade. So it's, you know, decent. The Universal Century, the HGUC line, as I should say, has never really been big on the posability. Or maybe just I haven't built that much of it, but they all kind of seem to have the same sort of posability as this one. I'm sure some have a little bit better, but it's pretty good. So getting on to the play features, he's got the beam saber here that he can take out and hold in his hand, but that beam saber doesn't have anything in it, so they give you this beam saber, which is the handle plus the beam. And of course, newer high grades are going to have the actual beam saber, and there'll be a little space in there where you can peg a beam part effect into that, which will already be like a translucent pink color, but they don't give that to you here. They give you just one big part molded in white. So if you want this to look good, you're going to have to paint it pink and make it look all nice. But you know, but hey, at least they give you something, right? So this just slides into his hand like before, and now he's got that beam saber, and it looks, you know, it looks alright. He's just got a giant, like, what are those swords? The kendo swords, you know, that they have in Japan, where he can hold it. Can he hold it with both arms? Probably not. I'll be surprised if I can get a pose here with both hands holding it. Maybe. Oh, we got a pose with two hands. That's hard to do though, but he can do it. Actually, he looks kind of awesome doing that. But okay, so you know, you can see, you can get some cool poses with, even though he's got a little bit of a limited posability. I'm rocking this board I'm filming on. Hopefully the box doesn't fall over on me. Otherwise, that'll be a pretty funny goof. So then you also get the gun, which the hand is in two parts and just kind of goes around the handle of the gun, but really you're not going to ever really use it other than that. So I mean, that's what the gun looks like. Oh, without the hand on it, you see it just fell over, and it's just in two parts like this, and you just kind of fit it around, and then there there you go. And if you want to put that on, you just pop that hand out and pop that in, and there you go. He's got a gun. And I lost something. This popped off. I'll find it later. And then he also comes with this open hand, so he can be kind of like reaching out, like, you know, Amuro, or Shar, no, or maybe he's fallen. He's like, just let me die, you know, whatever. And then lastly, you have the shield, which has this handle here, which, I mean, well, I just swapped the hands out, but you can, whoa, this review's falling apart. But I've got this positioned up here because I was fiddling around with it in the behind the scenes video. You can slide that in there, and then you can kind of fiddle it into that little peg there on his arm, which is where the shield connects to, so he's kind of holding it, but of course then it sticks out at an angle. But you can just slide this back out of his hand, and you know, and then it sits there on his arm. And that's how I had him before, where you can kind of position it in front of his torso, and he can hide behind it like that. But also, if you don't want it on his arm, they do have the option of putting it on his back. So you just turn the little peg on there like so, and then you see that there's a slot there, and you just put it on like that. And I guess if you want, you can turn it to the side. I believe that's how it's supposed to look. But yeah, there you go. That's been the high grade, the RGM-79 GM. One of the coolest, I think, grunt suits that can come out of Universal Century, or it's the granddaddy of all grunt suits, as they say, or for at least the Federation. The Zakio, I would say, is the granddaddy of all grunt suits in general. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope I've inspired some of you to go out and get some of your own Gundam kits. They're a lot of fun to build, and I know I love it building them, and hopefully you will like building them too. So anyway, thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing the next one.